This is a homage beat.
I meant to send y'all the one on prostitution because I know Shanetta was saying she wanted to hear it, but I already got it. I just ain't sent it out to nobody yet.
She said she'd do that. One too. I think we were talking
The
about
one on drugs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yo. Grace and peace, grace and peace. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of I Saw the Lord. It's your boy Brandon. I'm here with my guy Jermel. Last week we was tackling concept number 24 is prostitution wrong. And I thoroughly enjoyed discussing that topic. Hopefully it got people's antennas going, getting people to think critically about certain things, just making the point that just from an objective worldview, especially in the society that we live in, where it's can't tell a woman what to do, and she can do what she wants with her body. If you're going to remain consistent, you would kind of have to say, hey, you may want to legalize prostitution. However, coming from a biblical worldview, I would say absolutely not, because prostitution only acknowledges external beauty, and true beauty is inwardly, and it also treats the gift of sex as a right. And it just violates so many biblical truths. But again, as I do with all the concepts, just pointing back to Christ and talking about that Jesus and God is true beauty, emphasizing how David said, I want to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord, but if God is invisible, how can you gaze upon his beauty? It's talking about his characteristics, who God is, that he loves the unlovable, he forgives the unforgivable, and he's done that in the person and work of Jesus Christ, and that's what true beauty is. So I know I made a bold statement, but I was saying if you don't come from a biblical worldview, you'd be hard pressed to say prostitution is wrong. But if you get a chance, please check out that concept. And I think we may have skipped one, and we jump into concept number 26, because I actually did concept number 25 with my father some time ago. So I'll release that one. So it may seem like we're going out of order, but that's the last one me and Jermel did together. But we are back at it by God's grace with another week talking about concept number 26. And again, I believe it was 23, we were talking about statues and monuments. This may be a concept where you're like, Brandon, what the heck are you talking about? But as always, hopefully you'll see that I'll make some good points, and hopefully you'll see where I'm going with this and be able to see the gospel truth that I'm trying to convey. But without further ado, how you doing, my brother?
Good, man. Excited to be back on the pod. I saw the Lord. Things been alright.
Nice.
My week's been alright. How about yours?
It's been, if I'm gonna be honest, it's been a rough week. I think I told Roshan a little bit about my crazy week I've been having. As you know, I got a new car. Never really had any kind of accident. I was coming back from church, and I hit like this, I don't know what it was, man. It looked like an animal, but it was like some rusted metal piece. I dodged it in the front, but it hit my back rear tire. Got a flat tire on the highway with Autumn, my daughter. Had to pull over to the side, and good thing my brother KO, shout out to KO, came and he helped me out. And I'm not a car person, so we out there in the middle trying to use the wrench to, I don't even know what you call it, the thing to raise the car so you could change the tire. Late for work and everything, but it could have been a lot worse. But by God's grace, we got everything taken care of. Had to get new tires and everything. And there's some other things happened throughout the week. It was just a real rough week, but the Lord is good and provided. Started class again, so that was one of the highlights. But if I'm gonna be honest, like I said, it's been a little rough week. But But like I said, I will persevere and endure. So I'm definitely glad to be here today. These are one of the good times where you can just come chop it up and again point people to the gospel. But
No doubt.
we can
No
jump
doubt.
right in to this concept. What is the importance of a landfill? And before I start, like I just want to say, have you ever given much thought about like where trash goes? Because it's like something that we don't even like give a second thought about.
I mean, honestly, not really. I mean, my grandfather was a trash man for 20, 30 years, retired from being a garbage man. So I know he did. I never really saw him do it, but I knew he did it because my parents taught me about it. Never really thought about it though, man. Most
Mm-hmm.
of the time, you put your stuff in your trash. You know, trash go out a certain time each week. If you
Yeah.
live in an apartment, you just take it out on the way out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just throw it out. I mean, the statistics that you got and you win. I'm like, man, where you find these? Like, so it's quite interesting to me. It has some interesting points. Yeah.
hmm And funny thing, my father, when I was living in New York, he worked for sanitation,
Okay.
and I do remember like being at school. My school, we would have to wait outside before they would let us in, and like, of course, my father's garbage route where we was
He trying to hide
outside.
his face,
And
put
so
the hood
I'm
on.
like the tallest, lightest thing out there. My father, I love my father, but he not cool like me. You know, he can't just let it ride, just keep driving by. No, Brandon, you know, he gotta
You turn red or
announce it and
something.
everything, let everybody know my father the garbage man.
You turn red
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah,
stuff.
of course, man. I'm like, God, you gotta get out of here, man.
Get
But
out of here.
it's just one of those things you don't even give a second thought about. And the reason that I say that, because I say garbage is an overlooked characteristic in any human civilization. One overlooked characteristic in any human civilization is garbage. The way a civilization responds to garbage is key to that civilization's survival. If garbage is dealt with responsibly, a civilization thrives. If it is ignored, the consequences are deadly. And just looking back through history, and that's another thing I was going to ask you, because I took my time with this one.
Yeah,
A lot of the
yeah,
concepts I get right straight to the point, but this one I laid a little groundwork. So for those listening, just bear with me because it is a lot of information that I'm giving y'all, but I'm doing it for a purpose. But one of the things that I emphasized is just history accounts for civilizations that dealt with garbage responsibly and those who did not. History records how in 1347 to 1351 the bubonic plague spread throughout Europe, Asia, and Africa, killing 75 million people. And the primary cause was too much garbage in the streets. Piles of garbage attracted rodents, which had fleas, which carried diseases. The lack of sanitation made the spread of the epidemic, worse, the worst in human history. At the end, half of the population in places struck were all dead, all because of too much trash. And it's like when you think about it, it's like, man, now that we've got a sophisticated system that deals with trash, it's like, but there was a point in time where that wasn't put in place,
yeah.
and we saw the disastrous results. But I even go back, I say in 500 BC, Athens, Greece, was home to the first municipal dump in the Western world and required waste to be dumped at least a mile from the city limits. These dumps were known as landfills. And it's like that's pretty much where your trash goes. Your grandfather was a trash man.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a trash man. All we do is we take our trash out to the dump. Garbage truck comes and get it, and we don't even give a second thought where it goes. It goes to a landfill, and it's like, man, it's got to get disposed of.
Yeah.
And I say, dumping garbage in a landfill is a better alternative than leaving it out because we saw what happened with the bubonic plague. But I said, there's still problems. There's two main problems that landfills still create. I say one of the problems is atmospheric, and the other one is hydrological. The atmospheric effects in regards to methane. Methane is produced from rotting organic matter. So even though we're disposing things in landfills, there's still hazards.
Mm-hmm.
And not only are there atmospheric hazards, because methane, I believe, it can cause loss of consciousness and long-term exposure can cause convulsions and even death. So even those people who are working with the landfill, they've got to be extremely careful.
Yeah.
And it says methane is also highly flammable. Not only are there atmospheric effects effects, there's hydrological effects, electronic waste, chemical products that are dumped into these landfills. A lot of times they get run off, whether it's through rain or other means, into like sewers or whatever the case is, causing just more and more pollution. And so even that we see someone who is handling trash responsibly, there's always going to be pollution. There's always going to be something that's there. And there's other solutions that have been proposed, like incineration, where you just burn up the trash. But again, that causes more problems, especially atmospheric problems. And then recycling. And I thought recycling was like a really cool idea, but I didn't realize how expensive recycling was. And then it's only, it only kind of benefits, more advanced countries. Like those third world countries, they really can't operate with recycling. So even though recycling seems cool, it can't work globally. But someone did propose another solution. I said, though there have been solutions and innovations that have attempted to solve this problem, there'll always be pollution in the world. Another solution that has been presented is that people take personal responsibility for the earth. And I was going to ask this. I said, do you think most people care about taking care of the earth?